Yo, dude, Oren here. Welcome to Sunday Night Football primetime night. We're going to be live streaming the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the New York Jets. I got a new setup here. I moved to a different spot in my the place I'm living in, so I got my new Penny Sewell up here for wall art for decorations. I got my NFL standings here with all the small magnets I got, and then I'm keeping the score up here because who needs graphics anyway? And yeah, we're just waiting for the game to get underway. I'm kind of watching like I guess a Spanish version of it. So I'm just kind of waiting for the game to start. You guys know how this tends to go. Like the game starts, and then the NFL Plus app, which I tend to use to watch the game on a tablet, takes a bit to refresh to get there. So I'm just waiting. And yeah, it sounds like there's going to be a lot of people, unusual-ish type of people who are going to be at this game. So Aaron Rodgers, who's out for the season, he's going to be in attendance. I mean, you'd think he'd already be in attendance, even though he's injured, just to show support for the team and that sort of thing, which a lot of injured players do. But a lot of news reports out there say that one Taylor Swift is going to be there, allegedly to support her new. Is it too early to say boyfriend? No one's officially made that claim yet, but Travis Kelce and the Kansas City Chiefs, and I talked a little bit about them in the last live stream that I did, in hopes that the Taylor Swift trends don't take over the NFL, basically. So, but we'll see what happens. I'm kind of having fun with it at this point, so I have sort of a new activity tonight because I do think this is going to be turned into this game could turn into a paparazzi type of TV event really, really quick about like what's Taylor doing in there, and I figured I might as well make fun of it. So make fun, have some fun with it, not make fun of her with it. As not what I'm trying to say. Anyways, every time they make the game makes a reference to Taylor Swift. What if we're exposed to it in any way, whether it's showing her on the camera in the booth or someone who brings her up, I'm going to put a tally on here, and we're going to keep a tally for how often the game jumps to that, just as a kind of a fun experiment, because we know now that we know what's going on, that a lot of people new fans are going to have eyes on this. So, all right, just restarting the thing. It wants me to sign up for it again, but I've already signed up, so I don't know what the heck is going on. I saw this earlier too, but I eventually worked on my way around it, so. It says it won't start till 7:20. I was on the impression the game would start at 7:15. Yeah, we're just sitting here and we're waiting. Oh yeah, I guess it is 7:20, so that is my bad. But I get the NFL Network and Red Zone, and I've been watching a lot of that today for some of the highlights. I didn't live stream them, but the games I did watch today, since the Lions obviously weren't playing because they played on Thursday, I watched the Dolphins and Bills game. I originally tried to watch the Broncos and Bears game, but I guess the NFL Plus app didn't have the broadcast rights for them, so I watched the majority of that game. Then after that, I kind of watched the red zone highlights of some of the overtimes going on between the Colts and the Rams. That was somewhat exciting, as well as the Eagles and the Washington Redskins. I really thought Sam Howell was going to pull out an upset victory over there, but the Eagles kicked a field goal and crushed that dream. But Sam Howell is somebody who I think is a really good quarterback that nobody's talking about, just because he plays for the Commanders and this and that. So, but he did look impressive to get the Commanders to the point where they did tie to be able to get in overtime. So he was impressive there, in my opinion. So I think the best is yet to come for him. For snacks, I'm prepared. I got 2 blueberry muffins here, a banana, and some green tea. So somewhat healthier than what I usually eat when I'm on the live stream, at least. I'm making some new changes to my YouTube stuff, so we probably won't see too many live streams of games anymore. This is probably going to be one of the last ones for a while. I'm going to reduce that heavily, but the primetime preview videos that I make, I'm going to try to make those into shorts and basically try to use that to give casual fans who check that stuff on the YouTube shorts the minimal amount of information. I already tried it earlier today with the Chiefs and Jets game, and that seemed like that had a lot of good results. So I think that might be a step in the right direction there. And I'm going to also try to get into more things that I've been wanting to do with YouTube videos, but I really didn't feel like they would be that effective considering how early in the season we are and how too soon it is to tell if teams are really good or really bad or what have you. So, but basically, I'm going to start doing mock drafts. I'm going to alternate every week. One will be a 7-round Lions mock draft, and then the other week will be just a round 1 NFL draft where I try to predict all 30 teams with a mock draft. And then I'll do a weekly power rankings. Now I think we have a little bit more information on who's good and who's bad to be able to do an effective power rankings now that we are, just about 4 weeks into the season. And then I said power rankings, and then a preview of each game and who I think is going to win. And I'm going to try to keep those videos as short as I can, somewhere 10 to 15 minutes, I'd say would be good, because I know we all have short attention spans. And I'll just go from there and see how that goes. And as far as Detroit Lions stuff, I'll probably do a post-game reaction, not a live stream of any of those games more, but a post-game reaction on Sunday night after the game or Sunday day after the game. And then maybe something on Friday about like not Lions weekly news recap about what's going on and what to prepare for the game. So still working on trying to fire up this game because it is now 7:24, 4 minutes after. Why is it doing this to me? Stand by. Here we go. I think I got it. Game just started and they're only 10 seconds in and there's a flag on the play. I see Alex Kemp, the referee, talking. Jermaine Johnson apparently got a penalty. Checking the play-by-play on the ESPN thing, see what I missed. Looks like just the one play. All right, so we're in business. They hand it off to Pacheco, who gets about a couple yards. And they're right on the Jets logo, so that's the middle of the field. And second down. Showing Andy Reid just staring down like this with his headset. Basically like that. 2nd and 8. Chiefs have the ball. Patrick Mahomes is yelling. He's in shotgun. He's pointing like this. You can always kind of tell it's Mahomes when he goes, pass complete to Kelsey for a first down. Sort of toward the end goal, kind of a slant diagonal, caught, first down and more. Down to like the 45-ish yard line. Tosses it to Kelsey again in the middle, toward the middle of the field, and he gets a first down again. So they're down to the 16-yard line or 14. Last chance you. They're announcing the Jets defense. So the heavy hitters, the big names, there's Quinnen Williams on the defensive line, Jermaine Johnson, who could be a good edge rusher still kind of developing. He was drafted in the first round. And then there's Sauce Gardner, not only the best rookie cornerback last year, but arguably the best cornerback in all the league at this point now. So popular of a name that Buffalo Wild Wings took on Sauce Gardner as their official sponsor for their restaurant franchise. True story. 12:25 to go in the first quarter. You can tell this is a game that they thought would be Mahomes versus Aaron Rodgers. They tried to run the ball again, but it's a loss of one. When they made the schedule, they were thinking Aaron Rodgers would be in this game, not out for the year after his first 4 plays of the season, which is very unfortunate as an NFL fan and for the NFL as a business. So, but this game could be exciting in new and different ways, as we all know. Mahomes takes the snap, scrambles to his right, tries to pass it toward the end, and incomplete. Sky Moore. Robert Saleh is yelling at people. He's like, rah, 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 rah. It's like the receivers are across routes to confuse the corners. And Harrison Butker, I talked about him in my brief. He's 5 for 5 this season. Kick is up, and it is good. Chiefs are on the board first, 3-0. Showing Kelsey as they transition to the break. Him and his mustache face. Has Travis Kelsey been in any of the State Farm commercials? I know it's Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, but is Kelsey involved in those too? If not, then I can see him getting involved in the near future among with other people. It'd be a business opportunity too good to pass up if you're involved in marketing or PR for State Farm. And of course, a year from now, we'll see a story on the Yahoo front page about how State Farm sales have increased exponentially this amount of percent because of those new commercials, you know? About the smug at a garage sale. I thought it was cool, kind of. Yeah, this has been stress-free day football for me because for those of you who remember, the Detroit Lions crushed the Green Bay Packers last Thursday. They were in complete control of the whole game, and they are in now sole possession of first place in the NFC North. And they are the team that we more interested Lion fans knew that they were going to become with Brad Holmes and his genius drafting moves and Dan Campbell and his coaching staff being able to develop the players and motivate them to become, true gritty football players. And he's a prime example of one of them, Penei Sewell. Arguably the first one, the OG, during the Holmes-Campbell era. There's got to be an official name for the Holmes Campbell era. The kneecap biting era, maybe. But yeah, Panay Sewell and Amon-Ra St. Brown were in that draft. And now they're both team captains, 2 of 6. Aleem McNeil is really doing well too. Like everybody was talking about Jalen Carter, and then Cansey, I think his name was, from Pittsburgh, who got drafted by the Bucks, who's now injured, and then a little bit of Brian Brzee. They're back, by the way, announcing the Jets offense, which is partially Green Bay offense because of who was brought over there. But now that he's not there, it's like, what do you do now? I forgot what I was talking about before. But Garrett Williams, wide receiver, he's good. Breece Hall's a good running back too. Zach Wilson attempted to scramble to his left, and he tried to pass it, and the pass was deflected. I've already done live streams of both of these teams already this year. And it sounds like things are starting to implode with Zach Wilson. Robert Saleh has basically become the apologist for him. And he was one of the first pieces that when – hey, they're showing Aaron Rodgers in the press box somewhere, so he is at the game. You can't mistake that mustache. He's in the owner's suite, Woody Johnson. Those are both all passing attempts for Garrett Wilson. They're showing Zach Wilson's stat. 52% completion percentage, 467 yards, 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, rating of 57, lowest among qualified players. Oh, I remember I was saying before, Wilson was supposed to be one of the building pieces after Saleh took over as the head coach, and it just hasn't happened that way. It's been well known since last year. It is 3rd and 5. Wilson pass incomplete, intended for Williams again. Would have been a first down if he caught it, but it was double coverage. Now it's 4th and 5, and here comes the punting unit. I mean, the Jets have the pieces. They have a really good defense. They have some playmakers on offense, and as I witnessed during week 1, a really good punt returner. It's the type of team that just needs a quarterback to put it all together to really compete. And when they thought they had it, they lost it. And it's probably the biggest tragedy of the season out of all the teams so far, because you had so much hope and hype only to see it all go down and be right back where you were at the end of last year. On commercial break, nothing going. Chiefs offense is back on the offense, and they'll probably score in some form again. But the Jets defense is one of the best. I know in my brief that I said that they ranked like 16th or whatever, but they're really good at defending the pass and that sort of thing. And they were one of the top defenses last year, so they just so happen to play some really, really tough offenses so far this year. They played the Bills offense, they played the Cowboys offense, and now they're playing the Chiefs offense. So even though they probably don't have the stats to back it up yet, I think the Jets defense is still really, really good. They just played a lot of challenging offenses so far. They're trying to promote a classic NFC showdown, Chicago and Washington. I wound up watching the Bears and the Broncos game on a replay during like the 4:00 time line. That was the game I really wanted to watch, but I couldn't watch it earlier because of broadcast rights restrictions or whatever. And it was. I'm glad I watched it because it turned out to be an epic come from behind win, even though both teams should be tanking for Caleb Williams, as everybody likes to say. But and then I watched a little bit of Perna's stream on the games. It wasn't kind of what I was expecting, but when I saw it, I realized I shouldn't be surprised because he's kind of like, yeah, they won, but really I wanted to lose because I want to tank for Caleb Williams. It's like, yeah, I remember when I was in that mindset 2 years ago with the Lions. They're back at the game. Noah Lyles, Olympic gold medal. I don't know who he is, but if he won a gold medal, good for him. Mahomes drops back to pass. He's looking to his left, goes across, pass broken up. Quincy Williams was on the coverage. Quincy Williams has also been doing good this year. He has a really high PFF score when I was looking at it. So yeah, the announcers are talking about it. Arguably the highest graded one in the league right now. I don't know if he said league or not, but he's good. Long story short, he's good. Oh, Mahomes is scrambling, and now he's running kind of toward the middle, toward the left now, and he's taking it himself, and he's got a first down and more to the sideline. That play broke down, and then he started getting chased, and he's like started running middle and then veered to the left. I wanted to say question mark, but that I don't think that's anywhere near close. Gives it to the running back. Not Pacheco, but the other one. I should know his name. Oh, it's a really long, hyphenated, hard to pronounce name. Oh, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Clyde Edwards. I remember that name. Why don't I remember him from before? All right. 2nd and 6. Mahomes is scrambling, keeping it again, and he's almost at the first down. He doesn't quite get there, though. At the 48-yard line. This is kind of really the real showdown between both teams because the calling card for the Chiefs is their offense, and for the defense, it's the Jets is their defense because that's Andy Reid's an offensive-minded coach while Salah's a defensive-minded coach. Hands off to the running back. Oh, he gets a first down. He broke a tackle, and he's breaking more, and he's breaking away to the 20, to the 10. Touchdown, Chiefs. Oh, they're showing Taylor Swift hugging someone to her left and to her right. First tally. It's possible they might have showed her at the start of the game too, and I missed it, but they're showing the replay, the right guard pulling, helping to get the block. That running back got one block and then just outran the other two defenders. Yeah, that Swift shot was very brief, like quick touchdown celebration. Hug one person, hug the other person. It looked like all three of them were wearing black. Maybe they'll show her again right before they go to commercial break. Zip. Oh, there's again. She's gasping and then hops up and down and left. And she was wearing black something. All right. That's 2. We're at 2 so far. And apparently they're happening when the Chiefs score touchdowns. That second one, it was like, and then before that, briefly hugging. Yeah. I should bring up Twitter. I'm sure they probably have some pictures and info about this. Excuse me. All right, I'm on Twitter. NFL memes. Me every time they mention Taylor Swift, and then just people cheering in a bar type of meme. Taylor Swift riding a MetLife Stadium, surrounded by security and her friends. I gotta go to Twitter to find this, but yeah, she's looks like she's wearing a black leather jacket with a black shirt, and then short jean shorts. I don't know who the lady is to her right, who's with her. I'm guessing it might be Mahomes' wife. I could be wrong though. Oh, she's with Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and Hugh Jackman. Hi guys, how's it going? She says. Hello. So she's not the only celebrity there tonight. I guess that would make sense. You know, if you're going to be a celebrity, you might as well go with other celebrities, especially a bunch of other guy celebrities there too to kind of offer protection when you know you're going in a place with a lot of people. They're announcing Kansas City's defense right after this kickoff. I'm looking for Trent McDuffie because he could be a really good cornerback if he isn't already. He was somebody I hoped the Lions would draft a couple of years ago, but they went their way with Hutch and Jamison Williams, who is back, by the way. I haven't had a chance to. Okay, Brees Hall goes through Hall first down before getting tripped up. Are the fans booing? Yeah, Brees Hall is number 20. So that doesn't surprise me at all there. First and 10 at the 32. They're on 32. Wilson drops back to pass, dumps it off to Brees Hall, gains about 5 there. I honestly have no idea who Blake Lively is, so I've probably seen her stuff before and just don't remember. But interesting that she's there with Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, aka Deadpool and Wolverine. Maybe it's a cryptic promotion of the next Deadpool movie coming out, which it supposedly has Wolverine in it. Salah has an intense stare as he watches the play. Like, Wilson drops back, passes across the middle, incomplete. Looked like the receiver tripped or something, but that's 4th and 1 now. And here come the boos as the punting unit comes out. It's a punt. I always like watching the punt returners because depending on how far they can make it, it could be valuable because it helps set up the offense well. In this case, they called a fair catch at the 10-yard line. Oh, they're showing again. Taylor's leaning over. She's listening to somebody. She's like, what? What? And they're showing her music on the Times Square thing, that image of, I guess, Times Square, the building up there. I'll count that as 2. Because this is where we are at in modern society. And I know it's social media, I know it's SEO, marketing, whatever you want to call it, but I mean, if a cat ran out in the middle of the field in the middle of the game, then they would stop the game and the fans would cheer and the cameras would be on it, and then that would be what would trend on social media. If you guys remember the last vice presidential debate we had with Kamala Harris and Mike Pence, there was a fly that landed on Mike Pence's head, and he didn't realize it, and then that's the thing that blew up. I like to pride myself on my humility, being humble, but I can't help but point out that I was the very first one on Twitter to tweet about it, and then Stephen King right afterwards tweeted, "The fly knows all." So I think I might have been the one to point that out to everybody. But yeah, it just goes to show, like, if you really like somebody, then you'll find excuses to praise them. But if you really don't like somebody, in that case, Mike Pence, then you'll find ways to make fun of them or undermine them or be mean to them. So it feels like a lifetime ago since that election, since 2020, and since all that bad stuff. But now we are in the days of peace. And we're back. Promoting Sunday Night Football next Friday with the Cowboys and the 49ers, showing Dak Prescott and Nick Bosa. We gave it to Pacheco, and he gained some yards there. 6 minutes left to go in the first quarter. They're talking about an interview they did with both Mahomes and Kelsey. The color commentator, that is. 2nd and 4. At the 18. At their own 18. Quick pass to Kelsey, and good blocking. He gets the first down. Down to the 25. The announcer just said, "Oh, we'd like to talk about the Taylor and everything." 5. Mahomes drives back to pass, taking his time, dumps it off to number 10. He gets a first down and more. No one's around to get him. He's getting a lot of yards. Forced out of bounds on the 40, but there is a flag on the play. That was Pacheco who caught that. They're showing Sauce Gardner for some reason. 2 by defense. Holding illegal contact. 42. They were declined, I guess. Oh, yeah, Kelsey was held on that one. And then Reed, the cornerback, did look like he interfered with the receiver route. And Salah looks pissed. He's like, ah, ah. All right. 42 yard line, 1st and 10. Hands it off. He gets a gain of about 8. Chiefs look like they're not having trouble running the ball at this point. The 3 interior linemen. I talked about them in my first. I talked about the center at least. He's arguably the best center in the league, Cregan Humphrey. They tried to run it, and the Jets were blitzing and a tackle for loss. But yeah, I'm glad that the announcers are praising the interior defensive linemen because the Chiefs have one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. Arguably the best center in the NFL, Creed Humphrey. Although I do have some bias for Frank Ragnow, who's also been consistently good. Although, turf toe is not easy to recover from. Mahomes drops back to pass, lobs it up to someone wide open, and he gets a touchdown. I couldn't tell who it was, but he caught it, and there were 2 people around him, and he sprinted through against him, and it was a touchdown. Like I said, they don't have much problem scoring on this drive. It was 83. And Kelsey did his thing, tried to pretend to do a route, and then he watched the guy get the pass. He's like, woo! Gonna change the score here soon. Extra point is up and good. Are they going to show it? Fastest in the league to get to 200 touchdown passes, they're saying. Okay, Noah Gray was the pass catcher. The Chiefs are already in control of this game. Looking at more Twitter stuff about the Taylor Swift stuff. I'm seeing one now where Taylor's like, woo, woo, holding her drink up and then taking a drink. Yeah, go, wah. Me counting all the celebrities Taylor Swift brought alongside to Travis Kelce's game, and it's somebody doing a huge tally. So another meme about that. There's another one of Taylor waving to fans in the crowd in front of her while she's kind of up in her press box area, I guess. Yeah, I guess I wasn't expecting more celebrities, but I guess being in New York City, that makes more sense. Not necessarily with the Kelsey group, like in Arrowhead from last Sunday. Somebody tell me who Blake Lively is. There's another picture of Taylor pointing pointing in a direction, and Blake Lively's looking with her like, ah. There's somebody hugging Taylor who kind of has an outfit where the top a lot of skin is showing in the back. Let's refresh this. Okay, nothing new there, but they're back. We're talking about Aaron Rodgers now, using a bobblehead graphic. It's like rubbing salt in the wounds with the quarterback stuff. Jets tried to run the ball, and they got nowhere there. Second down. Wilson almost fumbled it as he was trying to hand off to the running back. They're lucky that didn't get fumbled. Zach Wilson's voice sounds so high-pitched when he calls the cadence. Such a beta male type of thing to notice, I guess. Dumps off of a short check down past Breece Hall in the middle, gain of about 1 yard. We're showing Tranquil of the Chiefs defense, and it looks like he's wearing a collar around his neck, except like there's an opening like toward the front. I don't know what that is, but it does kind of look interesting. Excuse me. Flicker, blue 58. Oh, deep pass is caught to Wilson. First down. Down to the 44. Even though Zach Wilson sucks, I can always depend on Wilson to get a decent play. Yeah, arguably has the catch of the year all the way back from week 1 for that touchdown. His mom used to take Wilson to gymnastics and dance. I suppose I could see how that would help. Oh, flea flicker. You flea flicker back to Wilson, but he gets tackled in the backfield, and it's a tackle for loss. Tackle from Mike Edwards. So they didn't fool much people there. You're seeing the flea flickers more and more often. Aaron Rodgers is like, after watching that. But my point was, yeah, if they would have passed it to that wide receiver, he looked like he was wide open. That's unfortunate. But the Lions started doing flea flickers and other trick plays, and then I noticed the Bears do it in this game, today's game, and now it's going here. So you're seeing more trick plays more often. Zach Wilson to the left gets about 3 yards. 4 yards, whatever. Gibson was the wide receiver. It was like a sideways pass while Gibson was near the out-of-bounds area. Showing Jets fans looking very indifferent. None of them look happy right now. I mean, it's the end of the first quarter, and they're down 17-0. And I think I hear booing. Whew. I think Twitter had the same idea that I had with this Taylor Swift tally thing, so. It feels good when your team is winning, but I can't imagine how much time left before you go to all these games and you just like get really bored. Like, don't get me wrong, you'd prefer to have like the best team in the league, but if they're so successful so often, you could get bored by going to every single one of their games, unless your team wins in exciting ways. The Chiefs have been known to do that with Patrick Mahomes and the way he always has bonkers plays that succeed. So they tend to earn their spot in the primetime games throughout the years. The Lions have just got to that point now. So if you're a Lions fan, then just like all the grit and all the trick plays and just the hard hitting, like players like Hutchinson, just being a complete disrupting force. I watched a lot of videos the last couple of days of people analyzing Hutchinson's game and just like how all around unstoppable he appears to be. So in the first two games, he was getting a lot of pressures in both those games, but he didn't get any sacks. But now against Atlanta, against Green Bay, he's finally getting to that point where he's getting sacks. Like the other defensive linemen and the other defensive players around him are playing better, and it's really helping out Hutchinson, and he's really able to get the statistics that he needs. But like the Lions defense, part of their plan is to try to open things up for Hutchinson to be able to be as successful as he can be, and vice versa. Hutchinson doing his thing, taking on the double teams and triple teams to open up things for some of the other defensive players. And that's, in my opinion, why James Houston was so successful when he got to the league last year with that sort of stuff. He's injured now and he's out for a while, but what's the name of that other U of M edge rusher that Hutchinson played with that also got drafted in that same draft by the Baltimore, but he was injured during the Zach Wilson completes a catch, gain for a few yards, short of the first down, but it's fourth down now. Ojabo, I think his name was Ojabo. He was also really good, but it's like, are you really good because of your own merit or because you played with another really good edge rusher and vice versa? He didn't play last year because he was injured, but he should be playing this year. So let's see how good he is this year. I have not watched the Ravens game, and I know next to nothing about the Ravens besides the fact they have Zay Flowers, Lamar Jackson, Kyle Hamilton, and Ojabo. They punted, and it went toward the 6, but there's a flag on the play. Looks like the gunner threw down the person covering him. Illegal ball comeback receiving team. Jay Williams, number 2. All right. Mahomes in the end zone. Passes it to Kelsey, but I think it bounced before it got to him, so it's incomplete. So it's 2nd and 10, but the ball's on their own 4-yard line. So Mahomes is in shotgun, will be in shotgun in his own end zone. So there is a possibility for a safety, although I think it's unlikely. If Aiden Hutchinson, even though he's got close several times to sacking Mahomes, if he can't get a sack against him, I don't think the Jets would even get close to it. They hand off to the running back. He gains about 2 yards. McKinnon. All righty. 3rd and 7. Mahomes and shotgun. Running back standing right to his left. Drops back to pass. Across the middle. Caught. First down. But fumble. Oh, they're calling it dead. The play dead. It's incomplete pass. That's the ruling. So the Chiefs will be forced to punt it. And I talked about the Chiefs punter. Who is one of the better punters in the NFL? I forgot his name, though. But I did talk about him before. The refs are discussing what the flag was. Face mask offense, 70 more. Oh, it's a safety. A face mask penalty. Oh, yeah. The edge rusher was about to get him and stopped him with a face mask. So a face masking penalty results in a safety, which means 2 points for the Jets. So the Jets are finally on the board. Thanks to the Chiefs' offensive line. Try imagining the context of that. I'm seeing more coaches and like quarterbacks when they're on the bench and they're not on offense at the time. I'm seeing more of them wear like tie-dye type of hats, and I don't know what the context of that is. I don't think it has anything to do with Swift. I could be wrong. Maybe there's some sort of other off trend going on. Someone, I guess the Jets kicked it off into the end zone, so touchback. It's funny, I brought up the possibility of a safety, and the safety happened, but not in the way I was expecting. But the penalty, just since they were at the 40-yard line, the penalty yardage for that is greater than the amount of yards it would take to get a safety, so it would be a safety by default. 1st and 10 for the Jets at the 25-yard line. Wilson in shotgun, gives it to his running back. Breece Hall, nowhere to go. Gain of about 2. Oh, 48 is going on the medical chair board thing. It's going to get looked at. To Katasala, who's never looks like he's happy anymore. I can't blame him. I kind of want to go back and watch the Jets Hard Knocks. Just see how much hype there was with that, considering where they're at now. Wilson drops back to pass, goes down the middle. Caught to Wilson. First down at the 40. Wilson fakes it, and he's scrambling to his right, about to get sacked. He goes deep. Did he catch that? Alan Lazard caught that. Deep pass. Tackled immediately. Wow. 39-yard gain. First down and much more. Yeah, he basically had to shake that corner and find ways to get him off of him, and then he jumped up and caught it. Veteran wide receiver, that is Lazard. Showing Aaron Rodgers clap for him with his mustache. So now they're at the 20, 1st and 10. Scrambling to his left, dumps it off. Gain of about 4 yards to Ruckett. Clock is running, 11 minutes to go in the second quarter. Second and 6 at the 16.5-yard line. Wilson in shotgun. Dumps it off to his left to Wilson there, who's gaining about a couple of yards. The Chiefs' defense is proving to be formidable enough. They have Garrett Wilson and Alan Lazard on the same field, and Randall Cobb. Those are the 3 receivers right now. Kansas City calls a timeout with 10:01 left to go. I mean, the Jets were starting to get momentum, so now they got to regroup a bit. Maybe this is the turnaround game for Zach Wilson. Although the best thing for him would have been to kind of sit behind Rodgers and learn under him, but now he has no choice but to play. Never go past the second look. That's what the announcers are saying. All right, we're back into it. 3rd and 3 at the 12-yard line. Wilson in shotgun. Running back on his right. Drops back to pass. He's getting sacked from behind. Nope, he escapes it. He gets rid of the ball. And it's incomplete in the end zone for Conklin. He almost got sacked there, but he escaped it. They're showing George Karlaftis. He's the one that almost got the sack, and he defeated this blocker, and he was like, it's like Wilson was Karlaftis was Zach Wilson's tail, and he was like shaking the tail around to the other side. That's how the attempted tackle looked. I don't understand why people try to tackle like that. Well, actually I do, because the defensive people don't want to get penalized for tackling the quarterback in the wrong way, because they will do that, especially if the name of the quarterback rhymes with Blom Brady. Blom Trady. Anyway, they kick a field goal, and it's good. Just want to double check. Is that 5? Yep. How often do you see a score of 5 in a football game? So my Taylor Swift tally is at 5 so far. They showed a little bit of her, and then the announcers talked about her a little bit, but it's not as paparazzi-like as I was expecting it to be. Then again, NBC might have different principles than the other network that from last week. I don't know what network it was, but I'm assuming it was Fox. because only they would cut away from a game like that to go to a more boring game. Oh man. One of the other reasons I'm trying to cut down my YouTube and is because there's other things in my life I want to try to get better at, working out more and eating healthier more and, working multiple jobs and just like making more money and make as much as I can. So, and then I have other hobbies too, like coding, websites, short stories. I like to write and I like to edit other people's stories. So that's why I'm going to try not to YouTube as much as I have been. So, but, I'll still do it because, I love football and I love the YouTubers out there. And we'll just have fun with it. I feel like I'm asking for charity, typing say hi in the chat, but I got to be interactive somehow if I want to expect my analytics to go up, I suppose. So they're promoting The Voice as they're showing Times Square. Carson Daly is at the game with his son. Of course, I have no idea who that is. I just read what the name said. Oh, they mentioned Taylor Swift song titles. They said it again. They're showing Patrick Mahomes as a kid playing baseball because his dad was a pitcher in Major League Baseball, which I have heard before. I do know the Detroit Tigers did draft Patrick Mahomes because he played baseball where he went to college there too. Obviously, he chose football, but the Tigers were the team that drafted Mahomes. Mahomes scrambled around. He lobs it up, and it's intercepted. Whoa. Ashton Davis. Whoa. What just happened? I don't remember the last time I saw Patrick Mahomes interception. Oh, yeah, except when Brian Branch ran it back for a pitch six when he played the Lions. Yeah, he tried to finesse lob the ball up to 83, but it didn't get as far as it needed to go. And he's replaying it in his mind. You can tell it's like as he watched it happen. So, anyways, ball on the 41-yard line. Jets have the ball. Wilson under center, 1st and 10. And flags fly everywhere. False start on offense, 5-yard penalty. So it'll be 1st and 15 now. Is that Matt Nagy sitting next to Mahomes on his left? Let's just say it is. Wilson drops back to pass, dumps it off to Breece Hall, and he's getting a couple of yards, but there's a flag. It looked like the tackler pulled him down by his arm, and that's how he tackled him. The refs are discussing it, trying to make sure they get it right. What will please Roger Goodell the most? We got to make sure he gets it right so that he gives us our bonuses. Which team does he hate the more? Horse collar tackle. 15 yards added to the after a first down. Yeah, I knew it had something to do with a tackle. The ref analyst says it's not actually, because he got him in the front and it should have been in the side and back. So the refs might have made a mistake there, but still though. All right, Wilson drops back to pass. Goes deep around. Oh, Wilson almost catches it. It bounces off his hand as he reached it out, and it was incomplete. Almost a touchdown. Who's covering Wilson? 38. That's a bummer. Salah's like, should have got that. Getting harder and harder to be an apologist for Zach, the quarterback. Hands it off to Dalvin Cook. I completely forgot he was also on this team. 5-yard gain. That reminds me, the Vikings traded for the Rams running back, so they got rid of Dalvin Cook and they got another decent one back. But as we Lions fans know, as long as you have a good old line, you can make any decent running back look like a good running back. Not that the running backs we have aren't great either, because they are. That's a first down by 18. Caught the ball, just stuck it out, and as he was being forced out of bounds. The Jets are way behind, but they seem like they're kind of controlling the offensive side of the ball right now. That happens when you get a safety and you get an interception. They're taking their time to try to score the points when they can. Hands off. Skips in. And, breaks off a tackle, first down and more, out of bounds. So it'll be first and goal at the 5-yard line. They're showing Mahomes and Kelsey and those types, just kind of watching like, what? It's not Breece Hall. Who is that? 82. Oh, the punt returner. The guy who won against the Bills. That's the guy. Whatever his name is. He's a hard knock star, too. All right. They hand off to Dalvin Cook in the middle, and he's getting a few yards. He gets right up to the 1. That's where he stopped, it would seem. Whew. I'm hearing a lot of booing, or they're saying somebody's name. Talking about Chris Jones now, who boycotted the first game against the Lions until they decided, okay, let's just do a 1-year deal and then go from there. And then Kelsey was also out of that game because he had a knee injury. Okay, I'll finish that thought in a minute. As Wilson drops back to pass, he's getting pressure, lobs it up, caught, touchdown, Jets. What's his name? 87. The Jets are back in business. Showing the replay. It's not Lazard, is it? 87. It's whoever their tight end is, I think. Wait, I know how to check. Let me check the play-by-play. Extra point is up, and it's good. Uzama. C. Uzama. All right. But yeah, the Jets are making it interesting. So can't. It's all you can ask for, right? Still down by 5 points. So for the Jets to get ahead, the minimum they would need is a touchdown and a missed extra point or a failed 2 point conversion. To put that into perspective. Okay, it is getting hot in here, so. This isn't a Lions game anyway, so. But yes, I would have welcomed Travis Kelce and Chris Jones to play against the Lions because even if they were in the game, as a Detroit Lions fan, and I know I'm biased, I still think the Lions would have beat them even if those players were playing in the game. So prove me wrong. Maybe, maybe not. I guess we'll never know unless both teams meet in the Super Bowl. So all I know is the Detroit Lions won that game. Might have been 1 point, but you know what? It was enough. And I didn't see an asterisk when I checked the standings after that game. So I don't know what that announcer was talking about. And then you see them against Atlanta, and then you saw them against Green Bay, how well they played. And even against Seattle, we lost that game in overtime, but still, we were dogfighting in that game. And I knew the Lions would probably start 1-1. I figured they would lose to one of Kansas City or Seattle. Most people probably would have thought they lose to Kansas City but win to Seattle. But I remember going back and forth when the schedule was released. Should I buy a ticket, go to the Seahawks game, or go to the Falcons game? And I admit I wanted the game where the Lions were most likely to win, and then that was the Falcons, so I chose that one. And in hindsight, it turned out to be the correct choice based on that. So, because I'd prefer to go to a meaningful playoff game, and I already did that last season at the last game, showing Aaron Rodgers, Zach Wilson, Nathaniel Hackett all on triple screens. But yeah, I've already been to meaningful high stakes type of game with the last game last season, and even though it wasn't the Lions' fault, they were eliminated minutes before their game started, so they played just to eliminate the Packers. In fact, the year before, when they played Packers on the last game of the season, if they lost that game, they could have had the number 1 overall draft, but they were like, nope, screw the Packers, we're beating them. But they still got the player that they wanted at number 2 anyway. Mahomes drops back and dumps it off to Pacheco. He's trying to run around, gain some yards, almost the first down. Oh, boy. I'm wearing the same shirt that I wore this morning when I worked at the warehouse. But I only worked a 2-hour shift, so. Anyways, Mahomes under center, second and 1. Hands it off. Pacheco, first down and more. Gain about 8 at least. And he does push-ups. Sideline reporter. Pacheco in New Jersey. Melissa Stark. Hyde seeing way too much green, but he's wearing red. Jets fans booing him for doing push-ups. Of course, he's taunting him, and they're on the way. Pacheco gets another first down. Spins and bounces off tackles and gets a first down. CJ Mosley does push-ups now, the announcer says. I can never do that huge frown. Maybe like that. That Intended for Kelsey, but Kelsey looks like he ran the wrong route, and it was almost intercepted. Almost intercepted. Oh, Kelsey stopped on his post route early, his cross route. But Kelsey stopped like right here when he should have been like right here, and the defender just dropped it. Very lucky that wasn't another interception. They hand off to Pacheco again for a 2nd and 10. Third down. This is forward field. All the 3 signs should be holding up, and then it'd be noisy if the Lions were on defense. Showing Salah again, always looking like angry, like it'd be like a straight line across. He would look like a Charlie Brown cartoon character if someone wanted to do that. Mahomes drops back, lobs it up, caught to Kadarius Toney. First down and more. 25-yard line. Kadarius Toney finally learned how to catch the ball. That's another reason why the Lions won, because Kadarius Toney couldn't catch the ball. So, I mean, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, but if your opponent is making mistakes, you got to know how to capitalize, and that's what the Lions did. That's how Brian Branch got that pick 6. First and 10 at the 26. Hands it off to some other running back. Or no, it's Toney. $2:32 left to go in the first half. The 2-minute warning's coming up soon. Mahomes in shotgun, quick pass, dropped, incomplete. Intended for Rice. Third and 3 on the 19-yard line. Mahomes drops back. Scrambling to his right. He almost gets sacked. He gets rid of it, but it skips to the receiver. Incomplete pass. 4th down. What do they do here? The sidearm dandy thingy. Field goal units out. 37-yard attempt. Hey, that's my favorite number, 37. Kick is up, and it is good. Right down the middle. 20-12. Okay, I got some of it. $20-12 Chiefs. Are we at the 2-minute warning yet? I don't think so, but we're close. Like 2:11 left. Yeah. I woke up early this morning, so I'm kind of tired. 2:15 left to go. And 15 seconds to go before the 2-minute warning. Well, Jack Wilson's quarterback rating is higher than Patrick Mahomes is by 30 points. What are the odds? Quick pass to Garrett Williams on the side. Gains a few yards before he's forced out of bounds. Why Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds? What's the Easter egg? Is it because they're both Marvel characters? Wolverine and Deadpool? Who else is there? I'm on Blake Lively's IMDb right now, learning a little bit more about this particular actress. Gossip Girl, Green Lantern. Oh yeah, Ryan Reynolds was in Green Lantern as well, so she must have been in that one. She was in The Lonely Island featuring Akon, one of those SNL shorts. Oh, they're showing her again. She's like scooting in front of Blake Lively, I guess, looking like she wants to get out, but then she pauses, looks over there. That makes 7 for the night. For those of you just joining me, I'm keeping a tally for how many times they reference Taylor Swift, whether it's mentioning her by voice or showing her on camera or any reference to her in any way. And I've counted 7 so far. And that's not counting all the stuff I'm seeing on Twitter. And I'm just over here pondering why Deadpool and Wolverine, as well as Blake Lively. Blake Lively was in an SNL digital short with Andy Samberg featuring Akon. The title of it, oh, that's a first down for the Jets. Down to the 40. by the way. And I remember this digital short from before. It's the one where it's like, I just had sex and it felt so good. Wouldn't let me put my penis inside her. I don't think that has anything to do with any Easter eggs with that, but yeah. Another pass caught, almost a first down, forced out of bounds though. Running back up the middle, first down and more. Right at the Jets logo in the middle of the field. Showing Andy Reid, looking at his lips slightly. Green 18, Wilson gets rid of the ball. Gaining about 5 yards to Cobb, Randall Cobb. Trent McDuffie on the coverage and the tackle. Quandelayat. Underrated indeed. I don't know who you're talking about, but I agree. Whatever. Oh, Wilson's under pressure. Scouting to his right. Gets rid of the ball. Caught. Oh, dropped by 32. He dropped the pass. And he was wide open, too. Oh. Must have been some blitzing on that one. Yeah, the Jets' offensive line is the other question mark of this team. Like, how well are they going to hold up and all that? So, there's been times like this one where the Chiefs have gotten the better of them. Third and 7 at the 40. Wilson in shotgun. Drops back. No blitzer in sight. Garrett Wilson caught that, but was he in bounds at the first down? No. What do you do here? I would go for the field goal here. Because their kicker is pretty good at long field. No. They asked him to do a bunch of long field goals. No, they're going for it. 4th and 1. Or they're just doing that drawing offsides timeout thing. Play clock down to 3, 2, 1, then timeout. Did I watch the Bills game? Yes, I did. It was exciting for the first half before the Dolphins eventually just gave up. And the Bills just ran their gas out and stomped all over them. But a couple of scary injuries in that game, though. But that's exactly the type of football game that I like to watch, where there's not only a shootout, but like a lot of physical stuff going on, and a lot of unpredictable, random type of plays. And I think that game was one of the better games because I watched Miami play the Patriots a couple weeks ago, and that one was just so boring. Like a lot of passing, the Dolphins dominated, but that's just all that there was. But Josh Allen doing his thing, running the ball when he needs to and passing it when he needs to. Diggs had a big game. A lot of touchdowns for him in that game too. Oh, now as the field goes up and it hit the upright and it is no good. It is no good with 26 seconds left. Salah's going, fuck. I didn't see how long it hit. It was a doink. They like to say that it was a doink. That's what Tom Grassi calls it, a doink. They asked him to hit long field goals all the time, and he hits a small portion of them. 52-yard attempt. Lions doing good. Thank you, my man. Yeah, I agree. Us more diehard Lions fans have been paying attention to the rebuild, and it's really, really made progress, and we're all excited for it. you probably saw Lambeau Field after that game, how it was all full of Honolulu Blue players. I was a part of that last time they played during the last game of last season, but it was much smaller. Like it probably filled up like the first third of like the lower section of that after that game, and I was there for that. And I had pictures out there somewhere of it. And Aiden Hutchinson came out and did a Lambeau leap, and I got footage from being there by that. But yeah, it's a good time to be a Lions fan. They might make the playoffs. Yeah, that's the goal. Quande Letts might. People talk about Super Bowl for them, but for me, my goal is always for them to win the NFC North and then win a playoff game. And then everything else after that is a bonus for me anyway. And then next year, the expectation will be the Super Bowl. So, I'm wise enough to not bite off more than I can chew because, you got the Eagles and the Cowboys and the 49ers who are still pretty dang good. And the only one of those three teams we play in the regular season is the Cowboys, and that's the second to last game of the season. So that's a ways off, and that's sandwiched in between both of the Vikings games in the season, which is interesting how that played out. But I bet the NFL probably thought the Vikings would be competitive too for the NFC North, and it would be like okay, we're going to get the stakes high with both these teams meeting later in the season. But right now, the Vikings, they won today, but they haven't had a good start so far. I'm a Bills fan, and Super Bowls are a pain for me. Yeah, I can imagine because you guys have, been close last few years, the coin toss, and then the Bengals last year. So, the Bills were the Super Bowl favorites to last season. I do remember that. And then it didn't work out, and people just kind of stopped talking about them. But they're still as dangerous. Oh, Mahomes just threw another interception intended for Kelsey. Here I am yapping, and wow. That was the first and 10. Mahomes throws another interception. Oh, they were about to show Taylor Swift, but they cut. She was going like this or something. I caught it. They thought Kelsey was going to catch it, and they were going to show her reaction to it. It looks like Mahomes just underthrew it because Kelsey was running along the side, and there was someone in front of him, someone behind him. And I think Mahomes just underthrew it. So I explained this a little bit earlier, but my raid bait thing for tonight, I kind of went on a rant in my last stream about, Wilson scrambling up the middle. And he gets a first down and more. He gets taken down right at the 50. Anyways, I kind of went on a little bit of a rant pleading to not let, since Taylor Swift's in the news about the NFL and Travis Kelce and everything, the NFL people don't pick up Taylor Swift's trends and adapt them to the NFL and that sort of thing. And and at this point, I'm kind of rolling with it and embracing it a little bit. So because I know part of this game is going to kind of be what is Taylor doing type of paparazzi type of thing. So my idea, Taylor Swift tally, I'm just keeping a tally of every single time they reference Taylor Swift in this broadcast program. So anytime anybody or any reference at all. So based on my count, there's been 8 times that they've referenced her. And I started the game late, so there might have been more at the start of the game before my live stream started. But yeah, that most recent one is right when the interception happened, and they were cutting to Taylor Swift, and she was deep in a conversation, waving her hand around like this or something like that. But they quickly cut away from her. So I'm wondering, whoever the producer in charge of the cameras is probably really pissed off about what happened there. But I think they anticipated Travis Kelce getting a big pass there, and they wanted to show Swift's reaction to that. But it didn't work out that way because it was an interception because Mahomes underthrew it. Yes, the game is on Peacock. Peacock is owned by NBC. Whoa, Wilson! Oh, incomplete. So Peacock is owned by NBC, and The game is broadcast on NBC, so if you have Peacock, then you should be able to go to that app and be able to watch the game live there. But I'm watching it on NFL Plus, so this was a story in the offseason how like the Peacock, like all those games would be exclusively on there or something like that. I didn't pay much attention to it, but every Sunday night game is an NBC Peacock game. That's NBC's territory because Fox and CBS tend to get the earlier afternoon games, and ESPN gets the Monday Night Football game. And Zach Wilson is just sacked at the 40, and that is the end of the first half. Halftime, 20-12. And the Jets fans are booing. Probably Zach Wilson or the offensive line or both. Sideline reporter, Wasala. Not only is Taylor Swift at the game, but also Aaron Rodgers is at the game, but he's hanging out in the Jets owner's press box. They cut to him every once in a while with his mustache or whatever. And then there was one shot like of him, like where the Jets made a mistake, and Rodgers was looking like this. It's like, that was awkward. I thought that was funny. If I could have screen capped that, then I would. Oh, they're showing Kelsey walking off. And there's a coach wearing a tie-dye cap. I've been noticing this. If anybody knows the answer to this, feel free to tell me. Why are some of the coaches today wearing like tie-dye hats? Is there a specific cause that they're supporting, or? But yeah, me doing this is pretty much the raid bait for tonight. There's nothing special for halftime for this time. And if you didn't hear me earlier, I'm changing up my YouTube routine, so there will be less live streams, but more like videos themselves of other types of NFL content. So, for example, like power rankings, like a top 10 power rankings weekly. So I didn't want to do that to start the season because honestly, I felt like it was too early in the season. The sample sizes were too small, but I feel like 4 weeks in, I think we have enough to be able to really tell which teams are good and which teams are not. And then some game predictions, game-by-game predictions instead of like the primetime previews. And the primetime previews is going to change into being a YouTube short. And that's going to be a very brief and condensed version. I actually tried my very first one earlier today for this game. So that's going to kind of be what that one is about. And then I won't live stream the Lions games anymore, but I will give a post-game reaction video later after that game about that. And then I'm going to try to work in a mock draft a weekly mock draft. So because that's one of the other components of football that I really enjoy, just the mock drafts and then the NFL draft itself. So, and I figure 4 weeks in is a good time to kind of start looking at the college football prospects and see who's out there. Although for Lions fans, it was fun to do it while we were doing our real rebuild the last 2 to 3 years, because we keep wondering, should we get Kayvon Thibodeau or Aiden Hutchinson, or which quarterback here is looking good? Is that Hendon Hooker or maybe Sam Howell or Malik Willis? That was a big name during that time. Or, maybe we should get Jalen Carter or Tyree Wilson. Jack Campbell would fit the culture really well, and he does. He's one of my favorite players. And, Penei Sewell, he'd really complete the offensive line so that we could really get the rushing game going. And I correctly predicted that. It was just a matter of the Bengals passing on him to get Jamar Chase. Okay, anyways, let me catch up on your comments here. Yeah, nice. Nice. As Tom Grassi would say, anytime a 69 reference is said, nice. Nice. Speaking of Tom Grassi, let's see what he's up to. Actually, I'll watch it on my phone. Oh, my buddy from the bakery I was working at is texting me. I'll have to text him back. Oh, thank you. I mean, Tom is really good. He's the number one YouTuber, in my opinion, for NFL overall. But a lot of what I do is influenced based on him and a couple other people. So, but that means a lot to me, though. Maybe one day I can be up to his caliber. I'm trying to find his YouTube channel right now. He should be live streaming this. There we go.
Picture this. Sky full of birds.
You guys like my phone case? Looks like a blue lion, right? With the name and everything. He's probably rating other people right now.
Called Wild Time. There you go. Land of Terra Fortress, another great escape, Chicago, Denver.
That's actually part of his stream earlier when he was watching the Bills and Dolphins.
Wild Time. Better use a master ball. Break out of a regular Pokeball. Not even Ultra Ball. Ultra Ball, I'll shake twice, but then I'm out. Then I'm out.
Joe Burrow got sacked 9 times. Dang.
I'm not doing it.
Who did they play today? Was it the Ravens?
Andrew DeFire, should Bengals fans panic? Yes, it's panicking time. Because they don't have an easy schedule.
The Bengals look like they're off to a very slow start, and I know they're get hot in the second half, but right now I think the Bengals are one of the worst teams. I'm sorry.
So it would just be pure chaos, and at this point, why not? Why not, you know? Omega and Derek, Tom, about the Browns beating the Ravens, you sure?
Hang on, I'm going to say something in a minute.
DTR.
Yeah, after the Bills and that game ended, I watched the red zone thing, and they went back and forth to a couple of the overtime games. The Commanders and the Eagles, I did see that go into overtime, and that was insane. And I keep saying Sam Howell is a great quarterback, but everybody is like, no, it's just Sam Howell. Bleh. But Sam Howell is the reason why the Commanders managed to get into overtime in the first place there. So, things didn't work out with drop passes a little bit later on, but I'm telling you guys, Sam Howell is a good quarterback. And people need to realize that. He probably it's the same situation as North Carolina's last year. He just doesn't have a good offensive line or does not. He has some good weapons. He's got Scary Terry and Jahan Dotson, who's another underrated receiver. But yeah, that Eagles game was insane. So, and then the Colts and Rams game, that went into overtime, and Stafford with a beat up hip was still managed to defeat them with that Puka wide receiver who's becoming a name. So that's somebody to keep an eye on.
Ads. He's running his own ads. Ryan, it's only week 4. It is. Arrow, thank you for the tour. There's straight Joe Burrow and Zach Moss for A-Chan and Bryce Young. Bryce Young, I would not have wanted to pick him up. He might get better, but their O-line's not going to get better. Yeah. A-Chan is a good pickup, but Burrow might pick it up later in the season. Ozzy, tour, yeah.
Yeah, I was noticing that. I don't know if it's just the fact that Prescott plays for the Cowboys or whatever, but Dak Prescott always kind of reminds me of a military drill sergeant type, the type that you would see if you were in boot camp, and the type of just the build and the demeanor. He's that type that he kind of looks like to me. But yeah, I mean, if it's working for them, by all means, because the Cowboys have had a really good start this year, except they lost to the Cardinals, arguably the worst team. Oh, another Taylor Swift reference. She's like, so I'm trying to detail every time they reference her, what's she doing? Because that's what we all are here to see. That's what we all are here to see. That's my running gag with this. That's what the NFL games are slowly going to start turning into. Whew. Favorite player of all time. That is a good question because for the longest time, I've always been kind of a casual NFL fan, but then I started becoming a really obsessed fan a few years ago. And honestly, my first memory of an NFL game was the very first Super Bowl that Tom Brady won against the Rams way back in, was it 01? Diggs, favorite player of all time. Because it's making me think of players who are retired now and in the Hall of Fame. I'm just going to keep talking and hopefully I answer your question. So my two favorite Detroit Lions players right now, though, are Penei Sewell and then their rookie linebacker, Jack Campbell, because they're both really awesome to me, like as people and as motivated football players in like different unique ways that fit the Lions culture. So that's good. So NFL overall, my favorite quarterback is probably Justin Herbert. I'm an Oregon Ducks fan, and he came from there. He's an alumnus from there. And I saw Herbert play with beat up ribs and still grind it out to try to beat Kansas City early last season, and that really won me over for him. Let's see. I'm trying to think. That's my favorite quarterback. Sam Howell's up there for quarterbacks too, and nobody's going to remember that, I guess. I don't know. I don't want to give the easy cop-out answer and say like Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson because I actually never saw Barry Sanders play as a kid. I heard about when he retired, and I was like, what? I thought he was really good, and he was, but I never got a chance to really watch him, so I can't really say him. I am trying really, really hard not to say Tom Brady because I know how polarizing he is. I'd say he's probably the player I respect the most of all time just because of how many championships he's won and his leadership qualities overall. I know a lot of people who like Tom Brady just for the fact that they're U of M fans and he's a U of M alumnus. So you're really making me think with that one, Quand. Oh, I saw Taylor Swift again. Brief clap. If this was baseball, because I grew up with baseball and stopped like following it recently, then it'd be very easy. Like Stan Musial for like all time, and then Todd Helton, who played for the Colorado Rockies, was very consistent. Miguel Cabrera, really good as well. He actually played his last game today of his career, and it was very emotional. Like they had him start at first base all by himself for a minute or two. And then after the eighth inning, after the last out, the manager came out with Cabrera's family. They all came and like pulled him, and it was like a ceremonial goodbye to Miguel Cabrera. But he'll be working for the Tigers as like a special assistant to the GM type of role, like probably doing scouting and stuff like that. Your friend is about to sub, so cool. Thank you. Tell the friend that I said thank you and welcome. Nothing but support, says the sideline reporter. Garrett Wilson, Randall Cobb. Giving Zach Wilson advice, smiles. Sauce Gardner is vocally cheering on. I'm just echoing the sideline reporter. Zach Wilson drops back and passes, and it's caught. First down and more, right at the 50. Tyler Conklin is the tight end. Hey, Latoya. Yes, thank you. Have a good day. So thank you for joining me tonight. So awesome. The more the merrier. Pass is caught. First down to number 10. I think as a kid, my favorite Detroit Lions player was a wide receiver named Johnny Morton. And I believe he's a coach now for the Denver Broncos or somebody. Or maybe with the Lions. I can't remember. But he was somebody I remember rooting for a lot. But closest I could probably answer is Penei Sewell. I like offensive linemen and defensive linemen because that's what I played when I was in high school. So handoff up the middle, gain him about 4 yards. But like game-wrecking defensive linemen, like Aaron Donald and like Nick Bosa, and those players are impressive. Aiden Hutchinson, what he's turning into, what he is now, those players are very, very exciting and very important for defenses now. So, yeah, I hope so too. I keep saying I'm doing this for a hobby. So, whoever comes in. That's great. So, it's more important to me to keep that pass is caught, by the way, for another first down by Ruckert. And they're knocking on the door for another touchdown. Anyways, it's more important for me for the subscribers I already have to keep them and keep that foundation, keep that solid base of, those few subscribers for a long time than it is to try to keep growing and building people, because those people would just, they could come and go at any time. And I'd rather have that core of subscribers who have my back for a long time, Anyways, first and 10 at the 12-yard line. Wilson under center, hands it off to Breece Hall. Stiffs arm, somebody goes around, but it's a loss of 2. Gets taken down in the backfield. This is also a brand new setup behind me here. Before I was in a different room and I had like other Lions jerseys like hanging up on the walls behind me. But I wound up getting this poster because I went to the Lions and Falcons game a week ago from today. And then I ordered this in the mail because I wanted fridge magnets of all 32 teams. But those magnets were shorter than what I was hoping for. So, work with what I have. Wilson pass complete down to the 10 to Wilson. All right, 3rd and 8 on the 10. Oh, caught. Touchdown to Alan Lazard. It was closing in on him, and he just fires it right down the middle. Lazard catches it. Touchdown. They're showing Aaron Rodgers clap. They're going for 2. They're going for 2. 2018 game at the moment. Four for 9 on 2-point conversions attempts since 2021. 44%. Wilson in shotgun, running back on his left. All the wide receivers lined up on the right. And Wilson is going to run it in himself. He's going around, and it looks like he made it. He got it. He got the 2-point conversion. Don't at me for saying this, but I think Zach Wilson is improving. He is playing better than I expected him to play in this game against the Chiefs. Oh, they mentioned Swift again. Taylor Swift's in the house. Yeah, that was impressive. That was very Mahomes-like what Zach Wilson did there.
People in here, feel free to like and subscribe. Appreciate you, folks. We got craziness. Cristiano Center. What is happening? Chaos.
Indeed, chaos. We love the NFL when there's chaos, except when it's our team because we just want dominance and winning. Rachel!
Chiefs game now.
I don't even know who Rachel is.
Dude with fire looks like Wilson brought everyone ice cream. It's the ice cream. Joshua with fire. I don't know what the hell's going on. It's all chaos, baby. Jake Tudor.
It's all chaos, baby.
What the Monstars did in Space Jam.
Oh, let's get it, baby. Let's get it. Let's get it, baby. Let's
or the way
get it.
Rodgers is his muse. Jedwin, good to see you. Celebrating birthday Saturday. There we go. Happy.
I feel like I really, really relate to Tom Grassi. You might root for the team that I tend to hate the most, but I feel like it might be an identical twin in spirit. Dare I say it. But I'm a lot more rambly with my speaking, though, so. Still on commercials. I don't need them.
This Kelly with a tenor. Big Travis Kelce and Aaron Rodgers plan to wear the same mustache. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's what's causing the funk right now.
I
No one fires.
didn't even think of that.
No.
Aaron Rodgers, Travis Kelce, the same mustache.
Does win a fire. Lucky Tom, think the Jags win this morning. A good sign. Falcons aren't great. I think it's both. I think it's like the Jaguars still don't look amazing, but a win's a win. Benson with a fire. Wilson looking like Patrick Mahomes. Seth with a tour. Line was 6.5. Vegas knew something. All right. There's Zach Wilson. Professional. Tom, what is happening? I know.
And he's way ahead of me, too. I'm going to finish this muffin. Holmes gets to the running back, and he gets nowhere. Stopped immediately. All the momentum was on the... Oh, he's shoving the guy. Is that a personal foul? All the momentum's on the Jet side right now. As someone I've heard of might say, you need to calm down. I just look at the Jets field, the MetLife Stadium. And every single time, I'm reminded of what Antonio Brown. Oh, Mahomes is sacked. He just got swallowed up by the pile of people around him. You couldn't even see him, and then he whistles because he was. Yeah, it's getting. But every time I see the stadium, I just think of Antonio Brown stripping off his uniform and everything and running off the other side of the field into the tunnel. I'm just like, what the hell is going on? It's embarrassing because Antonio Brown is an alumnus of the same college that I attended. And I knew about him before he was an NFL superstar. And he wasn't even like the big star on that team. Mahomes is dropping back and he's going deep. Oh, bounces in front of him, incomplete. 4th and 16. Chiefs are going to have to punt it. Oh, yeah, we have a tied game. I got to change the score. Sauce Gardner was in pursuit of that. I don't hear too much from Sauce Gardner. It's probably because teams are smart enough to throw away from wherever he's at. So we hear about him less often. Caught it at the 45. Brings it to the 47. Yeah, the Jets have a good all-around defense, so never forget that. They can come alive at any time. It's what they were known for last year.
Yeah. Why not? We're all tied up, baby.
We're all tied up, baby. We are all tied up.
Everything.
I repeat the same thing except the second time. I say it a little slower.
Are the Jets good? No. But right now, we're just believing. Right now, we are just believing.
They don't need Aaron Rodgers to make this
Never anticipated this. Jeffrey Turin, Mahomes throws picks to
a close game that it is right now.
What even is this game? Don't care. Ravens first division. Everyone else looks terrible. There you go. This is a game. This is a game right now. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's get it. I have the standings updated too. I updated them before I started the stream. Make sure everybody's in the correct place, although it might change depending on who wins this game, maybe. Maybe if the Jets win, then they'll climb up near the Dolphins. Maybe not. I don't know. Well, the Dolphins have won like 3 games, so probably not likely, but still, they're in use for this right now. I did wake up early this morning, so I'm fighting the urge to fall asleep. This game hasn't put me to sleep yet. So the Patriots and Dolphins game almost did put me to sleep, though. No, nowhere near as bad as the Cowboys and Giants game from week 1. Like, that one is like, why these two teams? And I realize those two teams are getting a lot of the primetime slots in these first 6 games at least. So Cowboys are in a bunch of them, and the Giants are in a bunch of them. And it's like, what did you do with the Giants? Even when they're good, they're extremely boring. All right, Wilson drops back. Passes across, incomplete, out of bounds. Intended for Garrett Wilson. They're showing the last drive. Showing all of his great passes. There are several significantly deep ones. Shuffles through the defenders and gets a 2-point conversion. Wilson up, short pass up the middle, gains about 2 yards. Game is tied at 20-20 with 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. This game is going as they hoped it would go when they put this in the prime time. The only difference is there's no Aaron Rodgers here. So we have a really good game. It's just without Aaron Rodgers. It has everybody else: Nathaniel Hackett, Alan Lazard, Randall Cobb, but no Aaron Rodgers. Oh, yeah, Dalvin Cook, too, if you want to include him in there. But the Jets are punting it now at the 40. And it's Wade, fair catch at the 11. Oh, showing Taylor Swift again. She's just not doing, staying relatively still, like along with her friends all around her. When things, I think I figured out the producer's formula. When things look like they're kind of relatively boring, just show a glimpse of Taylor Swift every once in a while, and then that'll boost up the ratings a bit, boost up the social media stuff. Speaking of social media, let's refresh, see if there's anything new.
Last week, otherwise we talk about Jets. Josh Turner, Zach Taylor taking the spot home. Zach Wilson. Zach Taylor's not taking anything home, including a touchdown. So that's not too great. Over is looking good right now. Over is looking good. Imagine Taylor Swift leaves early. Compared to my favorite is
there'd be a lot of questions and a lot of gossip about that if that was the case, Tom Grassi. I wouldn't be surprised if she did, though, because I was always under the impression that Taylor Swift did not like football. But she might still not. She's just there to support one Travis Kelce, allegedly. I'm just going to check the stats. Whoa. You're way ahead of me. Oh, Pacheco's starting off with a first down and more. He ran around the outside. That was explosive as he ran around everybody. I'm just also simultaneously checking the updated statistics around the league. Kirk Cousins is the leader in passing yards with Jared Goff number 2. I did not expect that. I knew Jared Goff was good for what what the Lions offense is doing. I didn't realize he had that many passing yards. Good for him there. And then Tua Tagovailoa. Those three are over 1,000 yards. It's possible this might not be completely updated yet. ESPN has been slow at this for a little bit. But then after that is Justin Herbert, Matthew Stafford. Christian McCaffrey's leading in the yards, and then followed by DeAndre Swift. And then Justin Jefferson, then Tyreek Hill. Monterey St. Brown is fifth. So third down now. The running back only got like 1 yard as he tried to go toward the sideline. Defensive leaders, tackles, Quay Walker. Once again, thank you, Quay, for your stupidity, which helped out the Lions. Although we didn't really need it much, but it was the nail in the coffin, so to speak. They're saying Travis Kelce, no catches in a quarter and a half. Relatively quiet. Mahomes is scrambling to his left. Got through one thing. Number 4 just sprinted towards Mahomes and completely missed him and just like, here's, and he missed him. But there's the flags all over the field, though. Holding offense 65. Jordan Whitehead of the Jets is the leader in interception. He had several of those in the first week against the Bills. Yeah, Mahomes just slightly dodged him to the left, and he just went flying. Wow. Tommy Townsend punting. Chiefs are punting. The punt is up in the air. The name of my chair is Whitehead, by the way, in honor of Jordan Whitehead for that game. Because I was trying to figure out what to name my chair during that game, and Whitehead's name was sticking out to me because of all of his interceptions. So Whitehead should be in this game somewhere, too. Jesse Bates III is also tied for up there from Atlanta. I remember Jesse Bates' name being said a lot at Ford Field when I went to that game a week ago. I think I will also take this time to check out the box scores for each of these teams, even though we are just over 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Patrick Mahomes is 9 for 19 with 136 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Zach Wilson is 25 for 34, 220 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Kansas City rushing, Isaiah Pacheco, 11 carries for 103 yards, so he has 100 yards rushing already. And then, okay, Breece Hall has the most carries, and that's 4, but it's spread around a little bit to everybody, and it's not really a good rushing game tonight. 4 carries for 13 yards. Kansas City receiving, Isaiah Pacheco, 2 receptions, 42 yards. Travis Kelce, 3 receptions for 37 yards. And for Jets receiving, Alan Lazard, 3 receptions, 61 yards. Garrett Wilson, 7 receptions for 48 yards. Oh, Lazard has a touchdown, by the way. I don't see Randall Cobb's name on there. That's interesting. Oh, yes, I do. 2 receptions for 8 yards. What about sacks? Mike Edwards of the Chiefs has a sack. Chris Jones has a sack. And then for the Jets, Quinnen Williams has half a sack. Quinton Jefferson has half a sack. That's pretty much it there. We are still tied as there's 5:19 to go in the third quarter. And the Jets have the ball at their own 15-yard line. Pitches it to Breece Hall. He gets around, and he's breaking through everything. He's got a first down and much more. Down to the 50. Gets knocked down at the 43. That was a gain of about, 35 yards? 43 yards. Breece Hall has these long yards. He'll break away, and he'll do that. This is a simple pitch play. Good blocking, and he just explodes past a bunch of people. The safety was trying to keep up, and it eventually got him. Wilson drops back to pass, dumps it off to the tight end, and he gets a first down and more. But there's a flag on the play. An eligible downfield, 5-yard penalty. Oh, the center was downfield on a pass play. Can't do that. It's funny, one of my very first football games I ever played in 7th grade, as an offensive lineman, I ran up to the lineman and pass block him, knowing it was a pass. And then afterwards, the ref came up to me and explained the rule. It's you can only pass block if it's beyond your line of scrimmage. You can't go downfield to pass block. Okay. I was just surprised at the fact that the ref took the time out of the game to explain the rule to me, because he knew I was just learning about the game. So, but yeah, I always remembered, and I don't think I ever got penalized for being downfield again for that. Second 11. Wilson shotgun. Quick pass. Incomplete. Out of bounds. McDuffie plays a slot now. Dang it. I think McDuffie's good enough to play out wide, not just the slot. But I guess whatever works. McDuffie's the one secondary player you want if you want your to force a fumble. And he did that against Marvin Jones during the Lions game. Wilson back, down the middle, deep. Oh, batted up and incomplete. Cobb and McDuffie, someone deflected it, and it went up, and then nobody knew where it was, and it just landed back on the ground incomplete. Almost an interception. Looked like he threw it right at the safety, and the wide receiver came to deflect it. One of those weird backwards plays. But now they're punting. Fair catch at the 11. They're showing an airport graphic talking about the secondary of the Jets. I don't know where they come up with this stuff. I never found it interesting, but I don't say anything about it because I don't want to insult the hard work of the graphic designers responsible for making it. Because I'm sure they get paid a lot of money, and I'm sure they work hard. Oh, Mahomes drops back, dumps off to 4, and he wrestles his way to close to a first down. 9 yards on that. Uh-oh, Mahomes didn't get the snap, and it was a fumble. He fumbled it, picked it up, and then, like, dove on it for a first down. That's an interesting way to pick up a yard for a first down. It was a bad snap under center, and Mahomes just fell onto it while it rolled over to the first down side. Not a lot of discipline from Mahomes tonight. I'm just going to come out and say it. Maybe Mahomes is losing his mojo a bit. Maybe it's because his wife is out spree shopping with celebrities now. No one knows what Mahomes is thinking about Mahomes. But Mahomes is a professional. He's a proven winner. So if there is something going on with him, he'll be his toughest critic. He's professional about it too. Second and 9 at the 26. Mahomes drops back, dumps off to Kelsey. He wrestles for a few yards gain. It'll be third down now. Clock is running 1 minute 15 to go in the third quarter now. Third and 4. Everybody's bunched up towards the line of scrimmage. Mahomes, quick pass, first down, out of bounds. .23 seconds left to go. Mahomes drops back. Under pressure, gets rid of it. Caught to Watson for about 5 yards. Clock is still winding down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Oh, Taylor Swift lyrics. And a show on there again. That's a twofer. She looks bored. Everyone's doing this. She looks bored. I'll count that as one, actually, because that both happened at the same time. We're at 13. That's Taylor's favorite number. So if that ended there, then it'll be 13, and then she should be satisfied with that. I'm surprised she's not like sitting, but it's like she's standing where she's at. But yeah, she looks definitely bored at this point. If you're not a sports fan by trade, then in a game like this, you probably would get bored very quick, though.
We got over 10,300 people in here. Feel free to like and subscribe. Appreciate you folks. And we just hit 515,000 subscribers.
Ooh, not everything's about numbers, Tom
Gossett.
Gossett.
There will be a reaction game following this game.
I'm just kidding.
And yeah, we got lots of stuff happening.
I waited to watch your Bears and Broncos reaction until after I watched the game, because I knew you'd do that one. I'm going to have to shut yours down because I'm getting texts from my friend. Still on a commercial break. I'm just taking a quick social media break. Trying to check my texts if I can get to them. Oh yeah, I just came from vacation, and I was sending him some stuff about the Lions and Packers victory, and he's like, "Oh man, don't wear that stuff in Wisconsin if you go out there because they're all cheeseheads." Funny. Looks like Chiefs got another first down. It looks like Kelsey was the one that bulldozed it. Now he's pumped up. Was it a pass? Yeah, quick pass to him. And he bulldozed. Yep. Oh, rolling snap. Play is dead. It was a shotgun snap, but it kind of like rolled on the ground to Mahomes. And then it looked like it was about to be a horse collar sack, but the play stopped. Encroachment defense. Oh, they're showing it again. Taylor's hugging Kelsey's mom, who's there. She's like, yeah. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at it. I'm talking. Look at it. They're showing Kelsey's mom earlier at the game with the Jake from State Farm guy at the Eagles game. Okay, that is random. I know she probably goes to both games, but I didn't know. Yeah. Jake from State Farm at the Eagles game with Kelsey's mom. Well, that ruins the 13 because it's now 14. Now they're talking in depth. And get a convertible. They drive off down the road out of the stadium in Kansas City. They're recapping what happened last week. Things that we all already know about already. And Rashid Rice catches a pass for a first down, wrestles his way down to the. There's a 19-yard gain, and I think he was down to the 17 or something like that. Everyone. Sky Moore is getting a run or something, and he speeds his way to a first down. Down to the 15 or something. Sideline report, talking about Taylor Swift. Recapping 400 spikes, social media. They're showing Swifty jerseys. Customized Chief jerseys that say Swifty with Travis Kelce's number and the Chiefs thing. My left earbud beeps, so it's low on power. Second and 9 at the 12-yard line. Mahomes. Oh, when Mahomes is about to he gets the ball right in time. He was about to get sacked. Got rid of the ball in time, so it's an incomplete pass. Now they're thinking about maybe that was a bad tackle-ish type of thing against a quarterback. Oh, they're talking about possible intentional grounding. Third and 9 for Mahomes. He's dropping back. He's scrambling to his right. Almost out of bounds. Gets rid of it. Bounces to him, incomplete. Or was it complete? Field goal unit was coming out. Next commercial break, I'm going to go get a water bottle. I like to hydrate before I go to bed and then when I wake up in the morning. Because I know during my sleeping, that's when my body works the hardest. Kick is up and it's good. 26-yard attempt. So the Chiefs take the lead again, 23-20. Not showing Swift, so we're good. Why does this room feel so hot? Everything is turned off. Oh, back in time. Excuse me. So let me recap real quick what's going on because we're at 10:51 to go in the fourth quarter. Chiefs are kicking off. Kansas City is winning 23-20. Aaron Rodgers is at the game, but he's up at the owner's press box. They cut to him every now and then. Taylor Swift is here at the game with a bunch of other actors, including actresses also, including Blake Lively, as well as Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds. So a lot of Easter eggs there. What does all that mean? And I'm keeping a tally as to how many times the game makes a reference to her, whether it's by talking about her or by showing her. And by my count, it's at 15 times so far. So, which is far less than what I was thinking. Like, I'm actually impressed by NBC. They're keeping it perfect. And, yeah. Let's see. Taylor is wearing black with blue jean shorts. She had like a black coat and a black shirt as well, a long sleeve one. She was standing mainly next to Blake Lively, though. Although, like, both the other guy actors were like behind her. I guess there's also friend security, maybe. Garen Wilson gets a catch, but it's only for like a yard. And then Travis Kelce's mom showed up just recently, like the first time we seen her at this game. And then they showed, I guess earlier, at the Philadelphia Eagles game, Travis Kelce's mom, wearing Eagles attire, was sitting next to Jake from State Farm. So I did not expect that, but I'm glad that they showed that. I predicted that I guess Taylor Swift and her, marketing and negotiating and her secrets for getting rich, she would help Travis Kelce get an extension, a big tight end extension that would be bigger than TJ Hawkinson's, because currently he's a bigger – somebody caught – Garrett Wilson caught it for a first down, I think, there. Because Travis Kelce is objectively a better tight end than TJ Hawkinson, and Hawkinson just got a big contract extension, so you'd think Travis Kelce should get a bigger one too. So maybe Taylor Swift and her peeps can help Kelce with some of the leverage there. So look out, Chiefs GM, for that. And then the other idea, I would not be surprised if State Farm sometime in the future had State Farm commercials. Just get another first down on to the tight end on a check down, by the way. So if State Farm started having commercials that had Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift in them, I mean, if the State Farm PR reps can pull that off, then they probably would make a lot of money and get a lot of people signing up for State Farm. I'm just saying. Of course, I hope the NFL itself doesn't get too carried away with adopting like the Taylor Swift styles and trends to their own game. And, I made a whole video about that, about my concern with that. You can go check it out. I talked about it during the last stream, actually, in my raid bait section. But I think the star of this game tonight is Zach Wilson, because he's playing a lot better than what a lot of us expected. He's playing like the second overall pick that we thought he was. And Patrick Mahomes has had some mistakes tonight, like 2 interceptions and a couple of fumbles and whatnot. Almost a third interception, too. But the Chiefs are still ahead slightly. Oh, fumble. Zach Wilson didn't catch the snap. The Chiefs recovered. Oh, man, the Chiefs covered on a fumble recovery on a bad snap. Oh, I was just talking about how good Zach Wilson has been, and that could be a key mistake. Because now, even though the Chiefs are only ahead by 3 points, they could just run down the clock by running the ball. If you're a Jets fan, it's just like Zach Wilson gets your hopes up, and then he takes it away at the worst possible time, which is a relatable thing from Lions fans from years past. So, for me, it was the Lions and Ravens game from a couple of years ago. We contained Lamar Jackson for the whole game, and it was like a close game, like 13-15. And then Justin freaking Tucker from 66 yards out kicks the football, which bounces right on top of the crossbar, goes back up, and then lands across to be a game-winning field goal, setting an NFL record for longest field goal ever while beating the Lions by 1 point at the last second. That's the type of stuff that just rips your heart out from your soul. And I don't think I watched a Lions game for a while from that. Like, I kept track of like what the Lions were doing, but I actually like picked up a weekend job and decided to make money and just be like, no, I can't watch the Lions for a bit, even though I was starting to get invested in them. And then I think the very next week they had another or 2 weeks later, I can't remember what it was. They had another heartbreaking loss against the Vikings, and that was when Dan Campbell was in tears at the podium. It's like, man, if we just can't catch a break, I really wanted that first win for them. And the Lions, actually, it took them – it looked like they were going to go 0-17 for a while, and then eventually they tied with the Steelers, and then they had 0 wins and then several losses and then 1 tie, and it's just like, what? But then finally, in early December against the Vikings, Goff connects with St. Brown on a game-winning touchdown pass, and that was the very first win of this Holmes, Campbell, Goff, St. Brown era, and the rest has been like history. Those are the bad times you got to go through to truly appreciate the good times, which the Lions are in right now. Just saying. Just saying. They just showed a pizza on the screen. I don't know the context of it. Actually, I had pizza yesterday, so I'm good, but still. First and 10, they give it to Pacheco. He gets a loss of 2. He tries to run around the edge, but he is met by Williams and somebody else. Yeah, they're re-showing the fumble, and I guess it was just a bad snap, or Wilson didn't catch it, or he looks away before catching it. Mahomes drops back. Oh, almost sacked. Gets rid of it, but it's incomplete. Almost intercepted, though. Whitehead. He already has 3 interceptions and tied for league. Got all of them from against Buffalo, I guess. Hence, I named the chair Whitehead. Even though it's a different color, but yeah. Third and 12 at the 50. Or 49, whatever. Mahomes is scrambling now. There's flags flying, and he's going towards the sideline. He dives for the first down, and I think he got it. Dives for that pylon, for that marker. Holding offense 74, 10-yard. Still third down. Well, that's a bummer, because that looked like a good play. Why are the refs stopping the game? Oh, they're trying to get it marked to the right spot. Here we go. 3rd and 22. Mahomes drops back. He's looking. He's processing. Hopping around. Slowly moving his right. Now he's going to run up the middle, sprinting. And he's going to get the first down all the way from 22 yards. But there's flags all over the field. And Mahomes is pumped up. Okay. Illegal contact on defense, so 5 yards added to after the first down. But yep, another Patrick Mahomes, Michael Jordan magic play. He just stands there looking, and then he sees a hole, and he just sprints right up the middle, across the Jets logo. Gets a first down. Now it's at the 45, and they hand it off gets about 7 yards. Down to the 32. This is probably going to be a good opportunity to try to eat as much clock as you can, even though you're down only up by 3 points. You want to score another touchdown, preferably, but like, how do you handle that when you're this late in the game and you're only up by 3 points? You know. Pitches it to Pacheco, and he gets brought down. Lots of yards. Five minutes to go in the game. Clock is still running. Mahomes is scrambling to his right. Still looking, passes it, and it's caught by Kelsey down at the 9 yards. But there's a flag. Holding offense 65. So that'll come back a bit. Third and 20 at the 40. Mahomes draws back. Deep pass. And it's intercepted. Number 30. And there's a flag. Michael Carter. Mahomes' third interception of the night. There's still a flag down. Okay. So it's on the defense, and it's an automatic first down. So the interception does not count. That's a bummer. You see the look on Salah's face of disappointment. He's had a lot of looks like that tonight. He's just not a happy guy. Can't remember the last time I've seen Salah happy, but maybe that's just his poker face. Wrestler or cop dude. Showing Sauce Gardner just being disappointed, and Salah is yelling at the refs and everything. Oh no, he's just yelling at himself and the teams and stuff like that, the players. And Sauce is pissed. Was it on Sauce? I guess it was. Hand off to Pacheco, trying to get around. And he's forced out of bounds. No gain. So that goes out of bounds, stops the clock. Salah's still pacing with that look. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Salah flips out on his team in the locker room after the game or something like that, if he hasn't already. Hey, welcome back. Things are getting interesting. Who passed to Kelsey, and he gets a couple yards, almost to the first down. Did you see that play where like Mahomes threw a third interception, but it got called back because Sauce was holding or something like that? The Jets are not catching a break right now, and the Chiefs have the ball, and Zach Wilson fumbled a snap, and the Chiefs recovered. So they're making mistakes at the worst possible time, undoing all the good stuff they've done, and it's 3rd and 1 right now. Handoff to running back, and he gets it. First down. Let me try to recap what happened. So the Jets had the ball, and they were over kind of on the Chiefs' 35, I think, or something like that. And then a shotgun snap. I guess Wilson looked away before he caught it, and as a result, he didn't catch it, and it was a fumble, and the Chiefs landed on it. And then the Chiefs have been moving the ball slowly while eating the clock. It's 2:55 right now, by the way. Mahomes throws what looked like to be an interception, but there was a defensive pass interference, and the interception didn't count, and it was a 5-yard penalty and an automatic first down. So the Chiefs are slowly moving the ball while eating up some clock. Still trying to get a touchdown, I think. Salah has not had a happy night tonight. I don't think I've seen him smile at all tonight. And I keep saying that. Pacheco's breaks through for another first down, so it's 1st and goal at the 8-yard line. I read the stats a little while ago, earlier in the 4th quarter when it was early, and Pacheco already had 100 yards rushing. So he has been at least serviceable at the very least for the Chiefs since he's been drafted. He was on my fantasy team last year, and he helped with that. Under center. Hands off again. Still eating up clock. Nowhere to go on that one. Lots of 1. 2nd down. Jets call their final timeout. You trying to do what the Lions have already done this year. Okay. Couple yard gain on that one. Oh, it's not in goal. It's the first down is at the 3-yard line, I guess. So they're a bit farther away, I guess. I'm pretty much kind of spacing out here, but It's almost the clock is running down. It's almost the 2-minute warning. Yeah, the Jets. They look like they've been playing a lot better for a large part of this game, holding their own against the Chiefs as good as they could. But then they've made some key mistakes late in the game, and now it's like all of that got erased, and all everyone's going to remember is like missing the snap or whatever. But I think relative to everything, Zach Wilson's played a lot better than he normally does. So that's what I was starting to say. And then right up until that turnover, this game is exactly what the NFL thought it was when they scheduled it for Sunday nights, with the only difference between being that Aaron Rodgers is not in this game, but it's still close and competitive. So even though the Jets are kind of back to being a bad team or mediocre at least they're making the games competitive and watchable. And that's all you can ask for primetime games like these. Just endure the suffering. A Jets fan wearing Jets along here, and then just endure the suffering. Poor Jets fans, I guess. I know some Jets that are real jerks, so I guess I don't feel bad to them really. Mahomes is scrambling to his left, dodges them, and he's going to jog for the first down, which is at the 2-yard line. But it's pretty much going to end the game because it's 144, 43, 42. So if they wanted to, they could pretty much kneel it. So they don't even need to get a touchdown here. And they're taking a knee. Mahomes had some mess ups in this game, though. So, and I don't think it was. Yeah, they're talking about the Jets' missed opportunities, but the Jets' interceptions, I think, were really about Mahomes like underthrowing passes, and not necessarily the Jets being that good. Although the Jets are that good, but I think the interceptions were Mahomes' fault, in my humble opinion. And Mahomes is the Michael Jordan of the sport. But I'm just saying. But what matters is that they came out with a win. A flag on Robert Saleh. He's yelling at the refs. Yeah, I know. Robert Saleh's not had a happy night all night tonight, and I'm predicting he's probably going to blow up on somebody soon. And it looks like we're getting that here. Andy Reid wins his 250th game. You play. It's all love, man. Oh, showing Taylor Swift. She's like leaning toward Blake Lively. He's like, oh, she goes like, ooh, ooh, ooh. She's getting a little bit excited now that the game is over and her boyfriend's team won. That's 16 now. Yeah, I guess that was a key penalty. And that's what Salah was yelling about. Still mad about that. Because they called a penalty and he doesn't think it was. They're wrapping everything up. Watching for any more all right, that is the game. 16 is my final tally for Taylor Swift references in this game tonight. So, but more importantly, we're here to watch the game, and the Aaron Rodgers was shown a few times. I didn't keep track of him. I think that his was like 3 or 4, but his was funnier. Like with his mustache, he's just like up like this, and was like when the Jets made a mistake. But yeah, that was a good game. That was entertaining. It was close from both sides, and Kansas City wound up on top. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say about that. This will probably be the last time I live stream for a little while because I'm going to try to put some different videos out there and, trying to organize other hobbies in my life and that sort of thing. So, thank you to everybody who joined me tonight. And as always, go Lions, one pride.